How do you handle the unique pressure that comes with that? How do you keep the joy for so long when anxiety seems like a thing that could very easily set in?
Well, the only way that you can have a joy that doesn't fade away is from the Lord. And any other type of joy is actually happiness that comes from circumstances and outcomes. I think Coach has said this before, but joy from the Lord is really the only thing that can keep you motivated, just in a good mindset, no matter the outcomes. Thankfully, we've had a lot of success this year, but if it was the other way around, joy from the Lord is the only thing that can keep you embracing those memories, moments, friendships, and all of that. So, that's really the only answer to that, because there's no other way that softball can bring you that, because of how much failure comes in it and just how much of a roller coaster the game can be.
1000% agree with Grace Lyons. I've went through that.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining New Creation Podcast. Today's episode by far is one of my favorite. Kudos to Grace for boldly and unashamedly proclaiming Jesus in front of these secular newscasts. She is such an example for so many believers who maybe are a bit shy or afraid to speak up about their faith. And I do pray that it will become a trend for young believers and also a trend for just the church in general, for us to live proudly of our faith in Jesus. I love how Grace puts it this way, that her joy is not found in the things of this world. Her joy doesn't even come from softball, which is where she is involved in, but her joy only comes from Jesus Christ alone. That even if all was to go down south, she will still be joyful in the midst of her trial, which is very biblical when we look at the book of James, where James talks about how the Christians are being persecuted. And remember that in the midst of your trial, when things don't go the way you expected, that the joy of the Lord is with you. And even in the Old Testament, Jeremiah, Nehemiah, where it says the joy of the Lord is our strength. I pray more people will have the courage to rise up and not care what anybody has to say or the haters of this world. And that only God is the one thing really truly matters. So, yes, kudos to Grace. God bless you. May you continue to hold fast to the truth, live boldly as you already are, and never stop representing your faith through Jesus Christ to others. Hey, listen, before we end this episode, I want to share a few things with you. Did you know you too can have the same joy of the Lord that we share? You're probably thinking, why is that? Let me explain to those who are new in the faith. What happened is that we could not keep the 10 Commandments. We have fallen short the glory of God, and that the only way to heaven was through Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life. So for all those who haven't fully grasped or received the joy of the Lord, you can have that by receiving Jesus as your Lord. And for the believers who are going through persecution or spiritual attacks, you too can still experience joy in the midst of your trial. God desires for us to have a relationship with Him, to be reconciled before His return. In the Bible of John, it says, God so loved the world that He gave His only Son to die for our sins. Whosoever believe will have eternity. With this, fear no evil and fight for the good news of Jesus Christ.